It's about 62 degrees in here.
I'd say maybe 70, to be fair.
This is Saudi heat.
Is it hotter in here than it was on the pitch against Celtic?
I would say a few of those boys looked a little bit cold on the pitch against Celtic, if I'm being completely honest with you. And not that cold. Not the cold we like. Cole
Have you
Palmer.
seen that every other person in the entire world is doing that celebration now, by the way?
Everyone
It
wants
was
to
in
be Cole
cricket
Palmer.
the other day. There was a cricket player doing it.
Yeah. Just off the top of your head, what is like Phil Foden's goal celebration?
Do you know what? I haven't seen that many goals that he
Have
scored.
you ever seen a cricket player do Phil Foden's goal celebration?
No, I don't think he does have a goal celebration, to be fair.
No. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't prove Cole Palmer's better than Phil Foden, does it? It just
I mean, it might do.
yeah. I mean, Cole Palmer's become what, a sort of global icon after one season.
Yeah.
And
Foden's played, 3 for the best team in the world and not really done that
But
much.
let's not. We'll cut all this anyway. Don't
We're
worry
not bitter about it.
Not bitter at all.
No, like player of the season, he absolutely deserved that, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely deserve player of the season. Let's speak about a squad that are desperately missing Cole Palmer at the minute, because I think we would have done Celtic probably 5-4 if
Maybe
if Cole
5-0.
Palmer, maybe 5-0
Yeah.
if Cole Palmer had been on the pitch. Quick little reflection on the game the other day. I'll tell you what the best part of that game was.
The end?
The live stream.
Oh, the chat was pretty good. I remember that. I remember there's someone being in the chat that really elevated the conversation. In fact, do you know what's funny is after the live stream happens, there's a little graph and it shows when the most chat conversations happen. And I can pinpoint the moment that Joey Knight entered the stream.
Can you actually?
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck off.
You can.
Really?
Yeah, there was about 400
Oh,
extra
I'm blushing.
chats.
I'm blushing.
Stop it.
Stop
Stop
it.
it. How many pints? The question was on the live stream, how many pints were you deep at that point when you joined the live stream?
You guess.
6.
You say 6. Saturday night, it was about 12 o'clock by that time.
Yeah.
Josh, I have not had a pint since the Euro final.
Bollocks.
Swear to God.
Look at you.
Um,
He's like a new man. I thought you'd lost a bit of weight as well.
And actually, I came up with this phrase once, right? It was like just seconds from midnight, right?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Seconds from midnight on the 31st of December. And I got on my Facebook and I writ out this phrase I'd just come up with on top of my head, right? Because I thought, I want to turn over a page, want to really better myself next year. New year, new me.
I thought you wrote live, laugh, love. Because you
Yeah.
love that. You've got
Live,
that on your house
love,
quite a lot.
Laugh. Also, came up with another one once. I was in the tattoo shop and they said, "Oh, what do you want?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I'll just put saying like only God can judge me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Carpe
Can you think
diem.
of any other stereotypical tattoos
Carpe
that you
diem.
may or may not have? Like a rose? I feel like everyone has a rose of some
Who would have a
description these days.
rose?
Yeah.
Or if you imagine you had like a rose, but you had like rosemary beads on it, you'd have to be.
Oh,
You'd have to
I've
be
never
really.
seen.
You'd
I've
have to
never
be
seen
really
that one.
religious. wouldn't you?
Lion.
I'm not lying. No, I've not got
Everyone's
a lion.
got a lion.
Go on, without looking at me then, guess one more thing I've got on me.
A clock.
No, I
haven't
actually
got a
haven't
clock?
got a clock. No.
Skull.
No skull.
What about a lady? A naked lady.
Not a naked lady. I've got some ladies. I've got some ladies' names.
Oh,
Yeah, there
stop
you go.
it.
Let's move on to the game coming up against Club America. By the way, fuck me, it's hot in here.
It's really
so hot in
Yeah.
here. We are going to be sweating out.
We're
Good
dripping.
job we're wearing black. Chelsea might be wearing black. New kit.
They're not going to be wearing the black kit because that is not released yet, but they are going to be wearing the white kit.
That
potentially.
white kit is a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Let's talk about it.
Is it a thing
Do you
of
like
beauty?
the red? Do you like the orange badge?
I don't like orange on a Chelsea kit ever.
No, but it's basically an England kit with a Chelsea badge on it, isn't it?
More or less. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
Looks
and we've got England's
absolutely
best player,
fantastic.
Cole Palmer. So.
Yeah. By the way, if they want that kit, where can they go?
Oh, well, I mean, they can just go to Stamford Bridge, go
Yeah.
in the
That's
megastore,
quite a lot of
go
work
in the
though, isn't
megastore
it?
and buy it. But you're spending probably £12 to £13 on an all-day travel card because you're going to go there and back, and also you're going to pay full price. Or if you wanted to save a little bit of money, or some might say a lot of money if you include the train fare and whatnot, you could click the link in the description to this video. My bespoke link, go through it, you get 10% off.
Oh, that is ridiculous. That's not fair.
It's not fair, but sometimes life's not fair, and you make with what you get.
Get involved.
You
I've
don't-
actually used it myself.
You don't get what you're given. You get what is it?
You don't get what you take. You get what you give.
You don't get what you deserve. You get what you're given. There you go.
I've never heard that phrase, but well done.
Made it up just now.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Just before we delve really far into it, are we going to win against Club America? Mate?
Yeah.
Can you just tell me we're going to win? 'Cause
Yeah,
I really
we're going to
want us to
win.
win.
I watched your video this morning, actually, and you were quite pessimistic in your video. You were a little bit down. I was a bit worried about you. You were sort of going, oh, it's shit, we're rubbish. Where's the positivity?
I didn't say rubbish.
I thought we were
I said
optimists.
Chilwell's been a bit rubbish.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, can we just have a little moment about Chilwell?
Let's have a moment.
Because you got a lot of banter about Chilwell, didn't you?
What I did?
Yeah.
Oh, what, left wing?
Yeah.
Well, I heard that Chile was training with the wingers.
Chilwell did respond to this directly. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he never responded to me. Funny that. He called out the lie.
Yeah.
That was told on Instagram.
Yeah.
But there was a way more viral, apparently, lie a few months ago that was told on Instagram. He never called that one out.
He didn't. But there you go. He wasn't training with the wingers.
Sometimes silence speaks volumes.
He's always been a left back.
Yeah. He don't play well in this Enzo Maresca
I don't think he fits in this system at all. I don't think there is a position for him in this
Do you
system.
think there's a future for him?
In this system, I don't think there is. If Maresca sticks to his guns and actually plays the way he wants to play, Chilwell cannot be an inverted left back. He can't be one of the back three. He's not a left winger because, let's be honest, we've got, 3 options there in the left wing now?
Yeah.
So where's he going to play? I can't see it.
Yeah, it's a hard one. It is a hard one. He might be in one of our starting lineups. We'll have a little look when we do get into our starting lineups for this video. By the way, we've sort of just gone into it with this one, but if you can do me a massive favour, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before the start of the season. I'm pretty confident we're going to do it, but I'm always pretty confident that Chelsea are going to win. They don't always do that. So let's see how we go. I need your lot's help. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, leave your front door now. Walk round to your next door neighbours, knock on the door and just ask them if they can do it. I think that's...
Or just create another Google account.
Just create another Google account.
Yeah.
Why haven't you
already?
Yeah. You horrible, horrible people. No, joking. You're a bunch of legends. Right, okay. Let's just dive into it because without wholesale changes, we're going to struggle against Club America, even as we did against Wrexham, as we did against Celtic. So for you, Josh Aveste, the book of knowledge when it comes to Chelsea Football Club and football in general and life, what is the most prominent issue at the moment that we've seen from these 2 games?
You're far too kind, but I have to say, I wrote a list for this because there's quite a few negative things, and my list for the positives is slightly less than my list for the cons.
Do you know what my worst negativity is?
Go on.
Negativity.
Well, there you go. We are toxically positive.
Have you seen the In-Betweeners movie?
Yeah.
When she goes, come on, Will, throw a negativity on the fire. And he goes, negativity.
Can those guys just make another film, by the way?
I wish they would.
Why? Like they
would.
keep going, the project's over, we're done. Like, we're not done.
You're not done till I say you're fucking done, son. How about that?
They made a lot of money with those movies, by the way.
Could they get made nowadays?
Have you seen? Yeah, of course.
Could they?
Yeah, of course.
Could they? The world's gone mad, mate. You defend way too many people.
Nah, it's not that bad. We can make. They're wholesome in a weird way.
Yeah.
They're wholesome.
Yeah.
It's fine. By the way, they made that film, the first film, I think for about 4 million quid.
Yeah.
It made 120 million in the box
mad.
office.
That's mad.
That just shows you there's a lot of interest.
And as well, they were all original cast members, so pure profit.
There you go, pure profit.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Did you watch the American In-Betweeners?
Don't get me started on that.
Apparently it was shite.
Maybe we should cover it on the joint channel.
Wait a second. What joint channel? What are you talking about?
The joint channel. What, and I don't mean the joint channel.
But we haven't talked about this.
Joint channel.
We haven't told these guys about that yet, have we?
We're going to be making a joint channel.
You keep teasing this, and people in the comments are going, "What are you talking about?"
Well, they're trying to figure out what we're going on about. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We don't know half the time, to be honest. But it's not going to be too sort of sport related. It's just going to be us two just having a chinwag because anyone will vouch for us that works or is ever in this studio. By the way,
what podcast room? Barnes.
Podcast room, Barnes, linked in the description. Some of our best chats happen off camera, don't they?
Well, some of our best chats couldn't be on camera.
They couldn't. How soon into our average conversation do you think if they were on camera, how soon into the video do I get cancelled?
Usually when the first thing you say to me is usually cancelable. Yeah. So probably about 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, we won't go live off that new channel. We'll make sure we've got a good editor who cares about us. I would say the defence for Chelsea at the moment is the real prominent issue for us. And I don't necessarily think, despite me feeling like the likes of Benoit Badiashile is underperforming massively at the moment. He hasn't really got an excuse for it, apart from a change of system. But we know he's played in a back three before. Fofana, he is underperforming. I'm not going to have it that he's not underperforming. I'm not going to have it that his legs aren't looking what they once were before that injury. However, I'm not going to write it off, and I'm not going to jump the gun because it is pre-season. And I am going to factor in the fact that he's coming back from a really bad injury that had him ruled out for the entire season. So whether he's underperforming or not, I think this is about getting him up to scratch, and then we judge him on the real games. But as a whole, the defence do not seem like they're getting it at the minute.
And that's the thing. I'm glad you used that terminology, because I think the Enzo Maresca system, it needs to be learnt over time. And look, we're 2 games into it. And this is why I'm not jumping to conclusions, I should say, too early with this system, because I do think Enzo Maresca needs training time, because it's not an easy thing to learn. The key thing that I think we need to mention about the fullbacks, the wing-backs and the centre-backs, I should say, are that they are too far apart at the moment. So basically, the way you see it, a back three, as you described, are usually quite narrow together, and then you have the wing backs that are providing width. In this system, you've got the left wing and right wing making the width of the pitch, right? When we're playing at the moment, we've got one guy in the middle, 2 centre backs very far outside, and then they're basically just playing right through us. That's something that I was really concerned of at the moment. They just need to be a bit closer together, and then also the defensive midfielders need to drop in as well. That's what I think at the moment in terms of defensive issues.
When we speak about like the 3 at the back, like, we played for the best part of a decade on and off playing a 3 at the back, and some of our best performances, some of our better days.
It wasn't a 3 at the back.
What was it?
It was a 5 at the back.
Yes.
Which is the difference.
But this is what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
In attack, it was a 3 at the back, really, because we had Chile bombing on one side, Reece bombing on up the other. Now, yes, we did have players like N'Golo Kante that could sort of drop in there and support the back line at that time.
Yeah.
But I would say, for the most part, when we're going forward, which against teams that we should be dominant against, like a Wrexham, where we were dominant, apart from a little sort of 20-minute period or whatever where they came on strong and obviously scored those goals, a lot of the time there was 3 at the back. Now, when you look at that, have you seen enough so far to say that if we're going to go with the inverted system, with one fullback inverted, it's probably not best to use Reece there? Or would you disagree with that?
I think Reece can learn it because he's played DM before. But the elephant in the room here is that Cucurella is the only player that is trained and can play inverted wing back, and that's just the way it goes. Like, I think Cucurella will be the one that inverts. Now, this is very interesting. I remember us having this discussion when we were in this room the other day, where we were saying who's going to progress and who's going to be progressive in this system, and I think the fullbacks are going to really suffer this year.
I think so. This is the problem.
I think we're going to see a lot more. I think we could see a 4 centre back sort of run through if you look at it. Like, Cucurella is the only one that I can see inverting at the moment.
Well, we are going to do a video. It is going to be out probably tomorrow by the time this video goes out, and we are calling it Thrive or Dive, where we are going to break down every single player in this squad and give our thoughts on whether they're going to thrive in this Enzo Maresca system or whether they're going to dive in this Enzo Maresca system. And when we do that video, we're going to do it with the thought in mind that Enzo Maresca is going to stick in the Premier League season to what we've seen in pre-season. But here's what I want to ask you. Do you think there's any possibility there'll be a moment in this pre-season where Enzo Maresca goes, do you know what? This isn't working with these boys, and I need to change something because I need to get off to a good start? Or do you literally think that it comes down to the fact that it's a new system and you are trialing that new system with probably 4 or 5 of your first team starters ultimately?
I think he's stubborn, Maresca. I think he's going to keep to this system because I believe, and he certainly believes it because he's talked about this extensively, that this is the way that we need to play to really get what we need to do out of the players. Do you know what's interesting is the centre-backs and the goalkeeper thus far have had the lion's share of the criticism, and they deserve the criticism because I think individually they've really let themselves down, and I think the system they haven't learned. But I will also say that I do think with a Caicedo, a Gallagher, and an Enzo potentially coming back, at least 2 of those will be back in the team. The central midfield will be stronger, and therefore that will provide more cover. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Romeo Lavia has come back into the team after a significant layoff, and Reece James is the other sort of holding midfielder at the moment who's having to drop in. I think both of them, one is having to learn the system extensively. The other is in Reece James. Lavia's having to learn the system, but also he's coming off that serious injury. And I think you're both seeing Reece isn't rusty, but Lavia certainly is rusty. And he's definitely not providing enough cover to the centre back. So I do think this is a general system issue that we need to resolve.
I actually thought in that first game against Wrexham, Lavia was unreal.
I rate him as well. But I think in that Celtic game, he was found out from a defensive perspective.
But before we get into all that, I want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsors and continued partner of the channel, Manscaped. Now, it is no secret you watch the channel because you like me, you like Josh, you like the content, and most importantly, you probably like Chelsea. But what else you like is the fact it's a little bit pleasing on the eye. And how do I remain so pleasing on the eye? Because you can tell I'm well groomed here, very well groomed. There's no straggly bits coming off the side. You ain't got all the whiskers too far down from the chin, although we do have them perfectly trimmed. And the way I do that is with Manscaped. Now, a couple of months ago, they sent me a care package, and to say I've been getting my use out of that care package would be an understatement, because the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra has become my best friend. This trimmer gets it right the first time, cutting through the bushiest of bushes easily while being gentle on the skin in your delicate places. With 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, you can choose between a precise trim or the smooth finish. And did I mention that it's waterproof? So instead of just singing in the shower, you, my friend, can be shaving in the shower. But it doesn't end there. No, because next we need to talk about the beard hedger. It features a titanium coated stainless steel T-blade and 20 length options. You can achieve any style you want with just a twist of the zoom wheel. And just like the Lawnmower 5.0, it is also waterproof, meaning you're going to be in that shower a while because you can give your body a full-on DIY. So if you want the same service that I have been getting, make sure you head over to Manscaped, where you can check out the Beard and Balls bundle. It is linked in the description, and once you go there at the checkout, make sure you use my discount code Joey Knight, and that will get you 20% off of your next order. As well as that, you're also going to get free shipping. You don't get better value for money than that now, do you? So as always, I am forever grateful to Manscaped. Thank you very much, and help support the channel by supporting the guys that support me and buy your products from Manscaped. So if we were looking at this cup, right? We're looking at that cup and we're thinking, that looks half full to me. It's not half empty, it's half full.
Yeah.
We would say that at the moment, new manager, new system, key players missing, players on the pitch, like a Romeo Lavia,
Coming back.
like a Fofana, even like an Nkunku,
Yeah.
are coming back from injury.
Carney
and
as well.
therefore, Carney,
Yeah.
and therefore shouldn't be judged too quickly. Would we be right to go with that?
I think it's fair. I don't. I understand the criticism in that we've sacked Pochettino and everything was going very well, and that we had a lot of momentum and everything was rosy.
Swimmingly, some might say.
Some would say swimmingly. Some would say we needed a little cool off after that game.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. And now some would say we're looking like we're in deep waters.
And any more? Can you think of any more?
Diving, sense to diving.
The tide's coming in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for me, I think it's too early to really judge Maresca, and I think a lot of people are being too harsh on him because of that connection with Mauricio Pochettino.
Do you know why I think people are being too harsh on him?
Yeah.
Look at the bad moments for us so far, right?
Yeah.
They've been fucking littered with individual errors. Do you know what I mean? And there's part of you that could go, well, the system you set up with contributes towards the amount of individual errors that are made. I completely understand that. But say, for example, like Celtic's second goal the other day, right? Everyone's talking. There was a clip going around. Oh, look how slow Wesley Fofana is to this. Look how slow Wesley Fofana is to this. Did you see that clip when it comes along the box?
Yeah.
Do you know what the first thing that came into my mind is? Why is Wesley Fofana getting the stick here when it's Buddy Ashil that plays him on?
Yeah.
Wesley Fofana's holding the line.
Yeah.
It's only Buddy Ashil that runs forward and plays the man on.
Yeah. But there's a system point to be made about that, because Wesley Fofana, don't know if you saw it in the game, he was pushing up right. He was up in the number 10 position in some points.
Mate, the
that was
space
insane.
at that right back position was... There was so much space there. Honestly, you could have
driven a freaking US dump truck.
You could have.
You love a dump truck.
That was very US to say fricking. Freaking hell,
Freaking hell, man. Why don't we do the rest of the podcast in the American accent? Because, our lovely American audience, and we do love you.
They do like one American accent.
They do love your American accent.
Per show.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, right, I was on like a boat trip thing in Mexico, and there was this American bloke in front of me, and I was just eavesdropping on his conversation, and honestly, he thought he was the bollocks, and he's met this random bloke, and he's talking to this bloke about how successful he is, and he's gone, I mean, yeah, I don't compare myself to Bill Gates, but people do, and I was just thinking... No one's ever fucking compared you to Bill Gates.
Are you talking about yourself again? Because I could feel you. I could just imagine you saying that.
It was me. But that was the holiday when I realised like how friendly the Americans are. And I fucking love the Americans, by the way. Like the Americans are the friendliest people. I absolutely love it, right? Yeah. But I remember I went onto the buffet and this same bloke was there at the buffet. Yeah, of course he was a big boy. And I'm like waiting for ages. I'm waiting. He's just stood in front of the thing I want to like get to, but he's not even taking anything from that little food plate on the buffet.
Yeah.
And I've gone, sorry, mate, are you using that? And he's turned round literally within a second and went, no, I am not, but how are you? Put his hand out, shake my hand. I was like, no, yeah, good, mate.
Networking, mate. You could have met Bill Gates there. That could have been the next big guy. He could have changed your life.
Yeah. Well, he did change my life in a way.
In what way? Let you put on a few more pounds.
Yeah, there you go. Not feel self-conscious, because if I do put on a few more pounds, people would probably just compare me to Bill Gates. So, no. Listen, what I do want to do, because we have been a little bit half empty with that glass, and I do want to be a little bit half full. It's very hard in a match where you've drawn with a third division side, and a match in where you've been whipped by Celtic, to draw positives. But I do think there are positives coming from, in small bite sizes, from what we've seen so far from these two games. And I think that it's very, very hard to draw a positive, as I say, when there's a negative feeling around something. But if you delve deep, and you'd have to delve pretty deep, if you delve deep, I think there's some positives. So let's talk about some of the positives. Well, I'll start you off. He's French. He's about 25, 26 years old.
26, I think.
26. Didn't go to the Euros.
No. Should have.
Yeah. Christopher Nkunku.
What a legend.
I think this system has found what could potentially, I'm not going to speak off the back of Preseason and say, yep, that's definitely happened, but I think it's found the best sort of position for Christopher Nkunku in this lineup. And I actually think when you look along that front line, so clearly what I'm talking about here is you've got your wide players, you've got them hugging the touchlines out there, but as well as your inverted fullback, you've got two men in front. You're almost playing like two number 10 second strikers, am I right?
Yeah, kind of.
In a way, right? Or sort of eights, right, push forward.
Yeah.
But either way, I think that position complements Christopher Nkunku very, very well.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah, fair.
Another man that we haven't seen play in that position, but I'm gonna use simple man's logic here, yeah?
Go on.
I think Cole Palmer is brilliant as a right winger.
He is.
You think he's brilliant as a 10?
I do. That's ultimately his position.
Meet me in the middle.
There you go.
Meet me in the middle.
Half winger, half number 8, half number 10.
And this is what I'm saying.
Three halves add up to a whole.
That little position where Christopher Nkunku's playing on the left side of it, on the right side of it, I think if we stick Cole Palmer there, we're going to see really, really good things from him.
Mate, fitting all these players into a starting 11 is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Well, we do it.
How are we going to do it?
We do it on the channel.
Oh, are we?
We'll do it on your channel, won't we?
Are we?
Oh.
Stop it. That's going to be a good video because we're going to really struggle to get all those boys in. I'm telling you now. Because then if do
you ever struggle to get all them boys in? Or?
I've never had a problem, to be fair. No. Never had a problem.
No.
Maybe that says something about me.
38 of them.
Well,
we've got a 38-man squad at the minute.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's not jump to conclusions. Or assumptions, I should say.
Have we got 38 players in the squad? Have you just worked that out?
I think we've got 38 or something.
Is that that's with all the players that we're still going to offload, I presume?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's scary, isn't it? Because we were complaining about what was it, a 35-man squad for Potter? 33?
I can't remember.
There were definitely 3 11s.
Do you know what it is? You see that little period of my life?
Yeah.
I've erased the memory.
I mean, Graham Potter, I think that was quite a good moment in a weird way.
What, Potter?
I think it was.
I'll tell you something about Potter, right?
It wasn't that bad.
I'll tell you something.
We're in the Champions League.
Let me tell you something people forget about Potter.
Great suit.
Potter in Europe was actually pretty decent.
Exactly.
Like, I was at Stamford Bridge, right?
For the glow up.
Where was I? Was I in the Matthew Harding? I was in the upper for this game,
Yeah.
We fucking smashed AC Milan. That was like 3-0 or something. Reece James pocketed Rafael Leao. Aubameyang scored. It was brilliant. I think Reece James scored as well in that game, actually. I think we drew 0-0 with Salzburg or someone like that. One of the better matches that I had seen from that whole... In fact, the best match we played that whole season. Some would argue with the cup finals against Liverpool, even though they weren't wins and they were draws. But we were stubborn and we held out and we took it to penalties and whatnot. But... the best match that season was us against Dortmund when we turned it around at the Bridge 2-0. Yeah. And that was Potter.
Was that the Sterling goal that was like the worst goal in history?
You're harsh on Sterling. We're going to speak about Sterling in a minute because I've always backed him.
I'm a convert. I'm a convert.
Are you a converted Sterling fan?
No.
Well, let's go back to this Enzo Maresca system. Yeah. Because fans these days, and probably include myself in it, can be very, very quick to just write a player off and just go, oh, no, he's not good enough. And this comes back to why I said that if Ben Chilwell was training with the wingers, maybe Maresca should use him on the wing or have a chance to look into it, because it's very easy to just go, oh, cut ties. But if you did that in life, every time anything went wrong, you'd never have a girlfriend, you'd never have any relationships with friends, you'd never have any friendships, you'd never have anything. You've got to try and persevere a little bit at times, right? Graham Potter tried by putting Sterling at wing back, yeah? We know that's not going to work. But in this Enzo Maresca system, funnily enough, you stick Christopher Nkunku next to Raheem Sterling, which, again, it just baffles me like I'm ever saying this, because you'd think there'd be either one or the other on the pitch or on opposite wings.
Yeah.
It works quite well for Sterling. What I've seen from Sterling, again, we're coming in off the back of what? If it was in the league and we had a point system, it'd be 1 point in 2 games and one of them we shipped 4 goals in or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been pretty impressed in both games by Raheem Sterling.
And this is the thing. I mean, he's got to take that pre-season form and he's got to bring it into the Premier League. I mean...
Will he?
He'll definitely be with us, won't he? I don't think he's going to get sold.
I can't see him passing.
That's the first thing.
Oh, do you mean with us as a squad?
With us in the team,
okay.
no. I don't think he's going to be passed.
No.
Let's hope he doesn't anyway.
Let's hope he doesn't.
No, we want to keep him around. So I think he'll be in the squads. And if he's in the squads, he is one of our more experienced players. And he should be performing because of his price tag. Like, because of his fees, for his wages. Yeah. So we say this over and over again, mate. We want... I don't want to slag off Raheem Sterling. I want him to be a success for us. I believe in him. And when we signed him, it felt like a marquee signing. And it felt so different from a lot of our other signings at the moment who seem so young and a potential. Raheem Sterling was signed to be impactful immediately and be one of the best players in the Premier League. Let's be honest. When you put someone on 300 odd grand a week, you expect them to do that. And I have to say, from the brief glimpses that we have to say to him, as much as I've been a detractor in the past, I'm going to give him his flowers. I think he has been brilliant. And
how old's Sturbo now?
He's 29.
29.
Going on 30.
Okay. 29 going on 30.
Yeah.
Is there any chance, and maybe some might label this a little bit of delusion, but I think at any level of being a sort of elite athlete, which is what these players all aspire to be, you have to have a little bit of delusion in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Is there any chance that Sterling is looking at the departure of Gareth Southgate and thinking, I could get my way back in there?
I think his international days are over. And actually, I think it would benefit his club career if he did say goodbye to the international football side of things. And is he going to win a World Cup with England? Probably not.
No, maybe not.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't come right back at me there.
What?
You think England could win a World Cup, don't you?
I think England will win a major international tournament in our lifetime, yeah.
In our lifetime, mate. I hope I've got a lot more years than the next 5-10 years.
I don't know.
Yeah. I want to be winning a World Cup in the next 2 World Cups.
I've heard your cholesterol's not great.
Well, you've been talking to my doctor again, haven't you?
Yeah,
you do need to stop talking to my doctor.
Dr. Love.
These are private conversations. These are. You know a lot of stuff about me.
You know. Another positive that I've seen coming out of this is I do think that when we've got the right personnel on the pitch, right now. Okay, it's brilliant being able to score goals, but if your defence is leaking the way it is, then it's not going to ultimately get you anywhere other than being in some entertaining matches. Yeah. At the minute, right? Do you know what we look like against Celtic?
Go on.
Do you remember when Spurs got the 2 men sent off against us?
That is so true. That's what I likened it to.
Wasn't it?
And it was exactly the high line, and the way we were just getting passed over was so like Spurs.
Oh, mate.
Not only when we had 9 men, just generally Spurs.
Every single person in the world looked at that Chelsea performance and thought that is absolutely awful. But there was one man sat there with a barbecue on the go.
He was going
can of Foster's in his hand, and he was going, I bloody like it. Takes bloody guts to play
Takes
like
balls.
that. Takes a lot of balls to play like that, I'll tell you. Ange probably loved that. He probably thought Chelsea are back this season, mate.
I think he was making fucking notes, mate. I think he was sat there going, bloody hell, high line, 3 at the back, go for it. It was very scary.
But what I was about to say there, the point I was going to make was creatively under Enzo Maresca, I think we look decent.
Really?
And I think when the personnel's in, I don't think we look bad. I thought, do you know what? There was a 10-minute spell at the start of the first half and the start of the second half where, mate, we
could have scored that Mark Yu chance straight from the kickoff, didn't he? Pass it to Carney.
Mark Yu?
Mark Yu.
Mark Yu Edwards.
Yeah.
Naughty boy.
Stop it.
I mean, I think it's a bit worse than naughty boy, but...
But yeah, Mark Yu, he is young, to be fair. He did a wonderful
I bet Hugh
assist
Edwards
to
looks at him and
Chelsea.
thinks,
stop it.
He'd have been nice when he was younger.
Stop it. And cuts.
No, we can't joke about that. No.
So yeah, I thought we started very well. And then the Nkunku header, which was an assist from... Who would that have been an assist from?
You can't give him an assist. You wouldn't give it. Right. What you're saying is Mudryk. But Mudryk was fortunate. That
Great
the ball,
pass.
That,
Great
fuck
pass.
off.
Great
He was
pass. The way
fortunate
that
the
loops
ball,
over, he knew that the defender was coming in. He hit it straight at him. It looped straight over, and then Nkunku had a free header.
Trick shot.
And
Rebound.
I mean, trick shot. He did it against
That was
Arsenal.
the equivalency. You know when you go goals and you play it off the board? Yeah, that's what Mudryk was doing there. Yeah.
Mate, we've all been in mini golf and we've done the trick shot. We said, oh, I meant that.
Can I give you one more positive that I think is coming out of pre-season so far?
Go on.
People are going to sound clutching at straws here, but I think we have got a gem coming through our academy.
Much?
Our academy.
Oh, academy, sorry.
Through our academy, a gem who we've seen in the first team. I really like Tyreek George.
He is very good.
Did you know about him? Because I'm just going to be honest, I didn't know about him.
We knew him from because he was on the bench a few times last season. He did get minutes.
I'd heard the name.
I mean, we'd seen him. The only time I'd seen him in great detail was when he was on the bench and he came on and played for us. And he only played for 10 minutes or so. He didn't have a lot of game time.
Needed.
And he shot.
Wait, did he get on the pitch last season?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did for a very brief amount.
I don't remember.
Yeah, for a very brief amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think he was in some Premier League squads.
He looks mustard.
He looks mustard, and we'll get into this in more detail in the Dive or Thrive video. I don't know if he's going to be in the squad.
You don't?
Well, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if he's going to be in the sort of the key members of the squad. Because if last 35 million,
mate, can I just say, if last season's anything to go by, if last season's anything to go by, okay, we went for an injury crisis.
Yeah.
Touch wood, God forbid we have an injury crisis this year. But if last season's anything to go by, sometimes we were putting 3 fucking goalkeepers on the bench, mate. Tyreek George should get some minutes.
We were, but then also think about how many wingers we've got. We've got 2 quite robust left wingers. Like I don't see them getting injured significantly. And remember this for when they both have serious hamstring injuries and out for weeks. And on the right hand side, I think that Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke are strong enough, and then potentially Angelo's still there. So yeah, I mean it's a competitive environment. We're also talking, by the way, about signing another winger. So
from what I've seen so far, I prefer Tyreek George over Angelo.
Yeah,
people that hate that. Angelo's a bit of like a cult.
Angelo's a good
follower.
He's a good player.
Got a bit of a cult following at the minute.
He needs a loan, and I do have the feeling he's got the David Datro Fofana-esque sort of atmosphere around him in that he'll never play for Chelsea.
You got a £5 on you can lend me?
Yeah. Well, you owe me a lot of money for all the bets you lost.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't put up the receipts.
Should we get in? I've got another one.
Go on.
The other positive I had was that we aren't getting any significant injuries thus far in pre-season.
Josh, don't do that.
We've got players coming back from months out.
You watch that Club America game, mate. It's going to be like the fucking plague on that pitch. Now you've said
I can't say that. But come on. We've had significant injuries, and we've only really got 2 players that are injured, 2 or 3 players that are injured now that can't play for us.
Mate, that's how I know I was reaching for positives when I was speaking about Reece James in one of the games. I went, listen, he didn't get injured and he didn't get sent off.
Yeah, so true.
There you go.
There's quite a few players that you could say that about, to be fair. Wesley didn't get injured, could have got sent off.
You look at like those injuries though, yeah? The Fofana injury came in pre-season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The Nkunku injury came in pre-season. The Brower injury didn't come in pre-season, but it did come in a friendly, mid-season friendly. What the fuck's all that about?
Never do that again.
There's no friendlies round here, mate. There's nothing friendly at all about
it. Well, Levi Colwell will tell you that, won't he?
There you go. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Mugged McLean right off, didn't he? What a knob.
He loves to scrap McLean. Who likes to scrap more, Joey Knight or James McLean?
There's only one way to find out. Isn't there?
Yeah, mate, call him out.
Misfits.
Call him out for misfits.
Misfits.
He's a bit bigger than you, though, isn't he? He'll probably be in a bigger weight division.
Nah.
He's a heavy boy.
Ain't we all?
You still spark him, though.
Ain't we all?
Call him out now. Look into that camera and call him out.
James McLean. I'll do you some serious damage, you big stiff idiot. I need 10 plumbers to deal with you once something done. No, I'm joking. Anyone that knows that, that's a Tyson Fury reference. Right, we're going to get into starting 11s.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give my one first.
Please do.
And
I'm going to critique the fuck out of it.
Right, okay. Well,
Where's Chilwell? Is Chilwell up front in this one?
He's left back. In the changing room.
That's been about 10 years since I've heard that
10
one.
years in the making. So you can see my starting lineup on screen there. I've stuck with Robert Sanchez in goal after a bit of a disaster class performance, let's be honest. But it did have some positives. He made one of what I would say in a Premier League game would be a save of the season when he absolutely put his body on the line, jumped in front and saved the ball. But someone needs to be having a word with Robert Sanchez, don't they, Josh, about his judgment. Because ultimately, the times that Robert Sanchez gets himself in trouble is through bad judgment. If he had directions to just look, I get sometimes you want to play out from the back and whatnot, but sometimes you just need to hoof it long, mate. And he needs to find a middle ground.
I've always said about Robert Sanchez that he was a top-level, elite quality goalkeeper and that we don't need to sign anyone else. You and I, we've always said that. And I feel that this game against Celtic, if you only watch the first half and you fell asleep in the second half, proves that. It proves that he has got an amazing saving ability. Close range, did some wonderful stuff.
Do you know what?
And I forgot about the second half.
So did I, mate. 12 pints deep by that point, apparently, according to the chat. Do you know what's funny about that? Right, if a bloke had never watched Robert Sanchez before, and they went to me, "What's Robert Sanchez like as a goalkeeper?" That's the game I'd give him.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, so true. It tells you everything you need to know about him. It does make some brilliant saves.
Saves.
But he's known, by the way, as being a ball-playing goalkeeper, and he makes passes like that. It was very funny on the stream that I was doing. A lot of people were saying to me that I was being a little bit too harsh on Sanchez, and that it was actually Badiashiel's mistake. I've watched it back.
It's a hospital pass.
It's a hospital pass. Badiashiel, by the way, is running towards Sanchez. He has no idea who's behind him. Sanchez has just passed it straight into him, and he's got no ability to turn. By the way, ball-playing goalkeeper, Reece James was free. Reece James, he could have passed it to Reece James, easy pass.
Do you know what I compare that playing out from the back to sometimes? Yeah. Trends come in, right? And it's like, say, for example, at the minute, like, people are wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, no, like, everyone's doing it. It's trendy. It's shit.
Are you saying you can't pull off a pair of Crocs? Because I think you could do it.
I wouldn't.
Would you wear them in sport mode or would you just wear them in normal mode?
If you want comfort, you go for what I've got on right now.
What are they? Oh,
that.
You know what they say about
socks
and sandals? Do you know what they say about that?
They're not sandals, they're sliders.
Okay,
so it
sorry.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Socks and sandals. It doesn't matter what they say about socks and sandals because they are socks and sliders. And how often do you see me in socks and sliders?
Every day.
And
even in the middle of winter.
Only socks and sliders most of the time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all you're wearing.
There
usually.
you go.
Yeah.
Looking at this lineup, this is the first thing that is going to jump out at people here, I think, and it is the fact that Reece is in the back three here for me. I just felt like Reece's performance against Celtic was not enough that I think, right, that's fine until Cucurella comes in. We don't try anyone else inverting. And also, this is what I want to see, right? Eventually, right, that I feel like there's a change from a aspect of what side of the pitch you invert from rather than just the personnel.
Yep.
So I think that it might be productive to try invert in the left back. Now, when we try and invert the left back, I understand that Chilwell could probably do it, and you might agree with me. He almost did do it a little bit in that match against Middlesbrough, which was the only match last season
that he looked great.
That he really looked great. So I don't rule out the possibility of him doing that, but I do want to see a bit of Renato Vega.
He looks great.
I would have Renato Vega inverted in that midfield role with Romeo Lavia next to him.
I like it.
Okay, Romeo Lavia, brilliant in the first game, underwhelmed a little bit in the second game, but we let him off. Underwhelmed a little bit, but not awful, not bad at all, but we let him off. I think stick them two boys next to each other.
Yep.
It might lack understanding, it might lack minutes, game time together, but I tell you what it doesn't lack, and that's a bit of bloody physicality.
Yeah.
Okay,
Both
that
of
was
them
hard
strong
for me
boys.
to say that one.
Both of them strong boys. Diego looked really good when he came on. I mean, his 10-minute cameo, there were some highlights there. He looked great.
Yeah, there you go. And then, as those floating eights, almost tens, second strikers, whatever you want to call it,
You love the
can call
tactics.
it.
You love
but
it.
we're obviously going to have Nkunku in there.
Yeah.
And it might surprise you to see your boy there next to him in Mudryk. Now, can I tell you something, right?
You love a rogue shout. You love a random pick.
I don't know if it is that random.
Okay.
Right.
Because
do you remember that game against Newcastle? Not in the cup when Trippier gifted Mudryk the winner. It was against Newcastle, the game I'm thinking of, wasn't it? When he ran through.
When he stole the ball from Conor Gallagher, who was about to pass it backwards.
Yeah.
And he takes the ball on, does 3 players, slots it.
Where did he come from?
Where did he come from?
On the pitch.
I mean, it usually comes from deep.
Mudryk came from a very central position there, didn't he? And when he in the 10 in that game?
He did play in the 10 in that game.
Yeah,
and he played in the 10 in various games. He looked really good.
I thought he looked better in the 10. And I thought that one of the reasons for him looking better in the 10 wasn't necessarily because he's better as a 10. I thought that one of the reasons being that we didn't really have the creativity up that left-hand side last season. And obviously we spoke about bringing players in, maybe bringing a left winger in and whatever. Yeah. Sometimes he felt very, very secluded and isolated out on that left-hand side. And when he was brought in deeper, he was able to sort of really ping a pass along to someone, make a run, go with it. Ultimately, in that game against Newcastle I speak about, run into the box. He'd done it from a more central position. So there's always going to be an element of experimentation in pre-season. Why not? Tell me, why not stick him in the sort of 8 role there and just see how he gets along with it?
The only question mark would be on the defensive side, because I think what we've lacked with the 3-8s at the moment is that they aren't helping out enough defensively. And I think that's a Maresca tactical innovation as opposed to something that the players are just ignoring. That he wants the number 8s to be quite high. What worries me is that you've got... For me, I feel that one of those 3-8s has to be a really attacking player, like a Palmer and Nkunku, and the other one has to be a more industrious KDH or a Caicedo.
That's what I get completely what you're saying there, because it's almost surprised me to see Ugo Chukwu.
Yes, playing in that role. Because you think that Ugo Chukwu should be a DM.
Yeah.
I presume.
Well, yeah.
Well, I like Ugo Chukwu being there though, because he should be the sort of the traditional box-to-box player. Caicedo, I can guarantee it now. Caicedo will not be a DM in this system. Yeah, Caicedo will be playing in one of those 3-8s. So you might as well try and replicate what Caicedo does. But look, mate, this is what preseason is all about. I respect it because I want to try some different things out. He obviously, the one thing he tried in the last game against Celtic was pushing Wesley Fofana up. I think that was insane. I think that was just ridiculous, but at least he's trying something.
Do you know what? As you're just saying that, and we're sort of describing that role, having one more attacking player in there, one a little bit more defensively minded, who will put a shift in and whatever, history's going to repeat itself, isn't it?
What?
Maresca's going to end up falling in love with Conor Gallagher, isn't he? He is, isn't he?
Well, the only reason why he wouldn't is because we signed Conor Gallagher's sort of like championship equivalent in KDH.
I don't think they're that stylistically similar.
They are.
Are they?
They place in a similar way. The key difference, I think, is that Gallagher is known for more sideways and backwards passing, and KDH is known for more incisive through the line passing.
So if they play in the same way,
yeah,
and if Kieran Dewsbury-Hall is going to get more goals and assists for us this season than Conor Gallagher did last season, does that make Kieran Dewsbury-Hall a better player than Conor Gallagher?
That's maybe I'm being harsh. I've just called him the Championship Gallagher. Maybe Gallagher is the Championship KDH.
How many goals and assists in total did Conor Gallagher get last season?
All I know, I think he got 5 total.
Kieran Dewsbury-Hall's going to get more than 5. You do realise that?
But who's involved in the England squad? Like, there's other people that have judged KDH.
There's never been a player
played in the Championship that
has been involved in the England squad for I'm wrong, and I
think you are wrong.
I'm wrong.
I think you are.
You know who it is?
I don't know who it is.
Theo Walcott.
He was involved for Southampton, was he?
He was at Southampton when he went.
Yeah, the 17-year-old Theo.
Yeah.
What, there for the ride didn't really feature.
So?
I think that's a harsh example against your own point. I think that your point is valid in that he won't select. Like,
he wouldn't select the champion. I'll give you one. I'll give you one. He took what's his name for the Vibes, didn't he? Conor Cody. Do you remember?
Yeah, but he was in Championship Cody at the time.
No, but he went down to the Championship and he didn't take him. So maybe it's just a thing of like, if you're in the Championship, I don't take you. And if you play centre back for AC Milan, I'm not taking you. You know what I mean?
It's a fair point, isn't it?
And with that lineup, obviously you're looking up top. Sterling deserves to start a game right 100%. Now. We're not eating our words. We're not eating our words by any means, and we'll see the real test from Sterling when the Premier League comes. But if I am a Sterling activist, Is that even a thing?
I mean, you could be an activist if you want.
could be a
Yeah,
Sterling
you could get
activist.
some banners out and
Yeah.
go Sterling,
There you
go.
So if I'm a Sterling activist,
Yeah.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to carry on seeing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell you who else I'm liking what I'm seeing from? Mark Yu. People are saying I'm going over the top on Mark Yu. And I think ultimately, if
Everyone's
he was in,
going over the top of Mark Yu right now.
I think if he was in any other position, maybe I wouldn't be looking at him as much and being like, oh my God, this boy's... But I like what I'm seeing from Mark Yu
What
so
I loved
far.
about him is he gets dispossessed, brought down in the box a couple of times in that Celtic game, gets straight back up and gets a shot away.
Oh, can we
Rate
agree though? Can we agree? Now we've seen Mark Yu and we've
Yeah.
seen what he's got to offer. Are we agreeing absolutely no need for like John Duran or anyone like that?
I mean, the only player that I keep hearing rumours about, and their rumours aren't going away, is that Osman could be the one.
Yeah, but I don't put John Duran in the Osman category.
No, we don't need a Duran.
If you want to go and sign a star,
Yeah.
you want to go and sign an absolute,
Yeah.
like, big name, yeah, go Osman if we can get him.
I don't want to spend 70 million on this Atletico Madrid striker now. That's what they're quoting.
Do you know what I thought you were about to say? I thought you were about to say I don't want to spend 70 million on Osman.
Oh, I want to spend 70 million on Osman.
I'd go 70 and take Rom.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And to be fair though, Napoli is saying 120 like fee
Fuck
for
Napoli.
Osman. Yeah, but yeah, well there you go.
Do you know what I would say to Napoli?
Lukaku's
Do you know
back
what
at
I would
Cobham,
say?
by the
Do you
way.
know what I'd say to Napoli?
Go on.
I'd say, listen, mate, you should have learnt your fucking lesson when you came to the bridge in 2012. Yeah? Give it the
It's your
big 'un.
favourite game
Wait,
of all time,
Give it the
that
big
is.
un to Chelsea. Get your fucking pants pulled down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what happens, Napoli. But seriously, like, if you want to sort us out, sweeten us on the deal for Osman,
Yeah.
we'd take
Well,
it.
if you ever want to invite us to a game, we would probably come,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Oh, mate, we love Napoli.
Yeah.
Cut the last bit.
Lukaku's
fuck
back
'em.
at Cobham, Joey.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah.
He might play for us again. Maybe he's the backup striker we've always needed. Maybe he'll come back and be brilliant in the Premier League. Maybe he does really love Chelsea.
Fuck off. That's like my missus. That is like my missus coming home telling me she's had sex with another man,
Yeah.
but the whole time she was thinking of me.
Yeah, and she did it about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
With 4 or 5 different men.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
Welcome back, Ron.
I know how to pick them. Yeah, and then obviously Tyreek George, I'm going to start him over on the right-hand side in this game.
Interesting.
Starting
Can he
Sterling
play on the
left.
right-hand side?
Well, I looked at some numbers,
Yeah.
and obviously it's not good that I would sort of give this claim when I've already said like I didn't know anything about him. But I looked at some numbers. He started some games on the right-hand side last season. So either way,
He looks
I
like
think
he can play off both feet, is the key
he
thing,
does
doesn't he?
look like he can play on both feet. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Now, right, what you're going to see on screen coming up, I've just cut away from one graphic, about to cut into another one. This is the big dogs lineup, Josh Aveste's lineup.
The
Josh,
actual lineup.
the
one that's actually going to
This
start
is the
game.
lineup that you think is possibly going to be starting the game.
Yeah.
In this, is that what you think is going to be starting the game, or is it what you like?
I think
in
it's
this
what
game?
I would do, but also I think what we should do,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Can I just ask you a few questions about
Yes.
this lineup? First thing that jumps out on me, tossing in the middle.
Yes. So I want to. You know what preseason is all about? It's about experimenting and seeing what these individual players can do.
It's about tossing and turning.
You love experimenting over tossing.
Mate, I love
fair.
tossing.
Yeah.
I love tossing. Honestly.
You've been watching tossing and probably doing some tossing late at night.
Constant.
Yeah, yeah,
Mate, I was
yeah.
doing it all night the
3
other night.
a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah,
kickoff.
yeah.
So I was tossing at 3 a.m. Then I stuck Chelsea on.
We won't go into your Pornhub categories, but maybe on a different video we will.
Joint channel.
So yeah, I want to see him play that, and what I want to see is if Wesley Fofana can actually put a good performance out on the other side. And I want to see how they interact with each other, with him in the middle, because I do feel he doesn't have the recovery pace to play on one of the wing back roles, the sort of wide centre back roles.
I don't think, from what I've seen of him, not just in the Chelsea shirt, from what I saw of him last season at Fulham,
Yeah.
we talk about defenders finding themselves in bad positions, like possibly Buddy Ashil going to the man, like Wesley Fofana being too far back for that Celtic goal,
Yeah.
the second one.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've seen Tosin find himself in bad positions, really. I think positionally he's very good. And also, I think I did him a disservice when we were talking about the positives to not say Tosin looks pretty solid.
Yeah. What worries me about him though is that he doesn't have that recovery pace. We saw it, like, basically ball goes over the top. He's nowhere near the striker when that goal goes in against Celtic. Tossing.
Tossing.
So basically, the ball comes over the top, and he's just so far behind him, and then obviously Sanchez gets nuts for the goal.
But then wasn't everyone?
Everyone was, and maybe that is harsh against him. But I do worry that in the wide centre back roles, I want players with very good recovery pace, because at the moment, what we're finding out is that balls go over the top and we're exposed.
With the shape of our team in that match, I don't think Usain Bolt has the recovery pace, to be honest. By the way, big watcher of the channel.
Yeah,
not even bullshitting.
No, it's not even
Usain Bolt
bullshitting.
actually does watch.
He liked your reels,
He's liked a few of them. He likes to keep it real, mate. Yeah, he's liked a few of them. So, you know.
Well, we absolutely love you, Usain Bolt, and if you ever want to come on the show, let us know.
Hit us up, baby.
Yeah. We will run straight over to you, probably a bit slower.
You're sticking with the Reece Lavia pivot. I think that's a good choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason is I don't think Viega is ready to play one of the big games like right now. I think I want to bet him in slightly so. But I like that you put him in, so I respect that. So maybe we will go for that experiment. I do want to see Reece in one of the wide centre-back roles as well. So I like what you've done there. But again, I just think we're better off with the lack of DMs that we've got to have him in there.
It's annoying, really, that we haven't got a win or two on the board already, because then it like makes the need for experimentation so different, because I think that momentum is a massive, massive thing, right? And I get that the Chelsea of old were a team littered with seasoned winners, right? So I think when you've got a team with Lamps, with JT, with Drogba, even names that we don't mention as much, Ivanovic, guys like that, right? When you've got those lot, I'm not saying it doesn't matter to not have momentum, but they know when it's showtime. They'll do it under the lights, yeah. When the lights are on, lights, camera, action, them boys can go, and them boys don't really need momentum sometimes. Those Chelsea teams of the past, right?
Yeah.
But young players, inexperienced players, and maybe, and please, again, like when I say about saying words and not holding them with the negative connotation, it sounds like more immature players, right? I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not slating them,
it's just true.
but more immature players, they do need momentum. So I do think that this preseason game is quite important for us. And it then makes me think, maybe experimentation isn't so good. Let's be honest. If we didn't have scars from the Wrexham match, I'd have been happy for us to make 11 subs at half-time against Celtic. But I didn't want us to do that, because I'm like, no, we need momentum. And I do feel like we need a win here for momentum. It's not the end of the world if we don't. One thing I would say about that lineup, Santos. Is there any point in playing Santos if he's going back on loan to Strasbourg?
The reason why I'm playing him is because he's a proxy for Caicedo.
Sorry?
A proxy. He's a player that's playing in the same way that a Caicedo would play, so that when the boys have got Caicedo back in the team, it's not a big difference.
I think you're harsh on him, mate. I wouldn't say he's poxy.
I also think that Santos could do enough to keep in the squads at the moment. We keep hearing rumours about but we keep hearing rumours about Ugochukwu going on loan. We can't have both those. We can't have both those guys going.
We can.
It doesn't make any sense.
In this system, we can, mate. Like,
why? Who's the backup DM?
Right, so you're saying Ugochukwu is the backup DM?
No, I'm saying one of those guys has to be the third choice DM, because Lavia's only just coming back from injury.
Vega
is the inverted fullback. I don't class him as the DM that we need to replace those guys.
Reece James.
But you need a recognised centre mid that plays that role.
Lavia.
Yeah.
Vega.
Yeah.
Reece James can possibly play that role.
Yeah.
Kukurea could possibly be.
Yeah, but all of them are the inverted fullback. I'm talking about a different. Like, yes, they're going to play in the DM, but they're not the recognised DM. Caicedo could fill in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could fill in.
I know you think he's going to play further forward, and I'd possibly agree with you.
Yeah.
I just agree with anything you say. But
Fair, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, best part of life.
And then I've gone Sterling, Madueke, and Gu. I think Madueke, I want to see him play, because I want to see if he puts a good performance in. Because I don't know what you think, but he was slightly underwhelming in the second half for me.
Do you know why I didn't have him in my starting lineup? Because I think he's a man that can change things coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And I actually think when I look at this season, if people stay fit and available, look, I literally said the other day, I don't want Madueke to go to Newcastle. So now if I say this, people will go, hold on, you said it'd be bad to sell him to Newcastle, but you're saying he's not a first team starter. No starting 11 has ever won the Premier League.
No.
It's about your squad. You need good squad options. And Madueke is someone that next season, if everyone's fit and available, I'm not saying we won't start matches. Of course we will. We're going to have a lot of matches. We're going to win the Conference League. So we're going to play every single match in that. But I caveat that by saying in a starting 11, maybe he doesn't make it into the starting 11. So I wouldn't be averse to him coming off the bench or starting. I'm not really bothered either way.
On the right-hand side, he's the best 1v1 player that we have. So he fits into the Maresca system.
On both hand sides, probably.
Yeah, So I think he plays.
I've never seen Mudryk dribble past men like Madueke.
You haven't been watching Mudryk well enough then.
I've never seen him dribble past men like Madueke.
I think he could dribble past
I'll tell you who I have seen.
He could dribble past aliens better than Madueke.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sterling on his day can do it.
Yes.
Sterling ripped Kyle Walker to absolute pieces.
Yeah.
Did you see Kyle Walker made team of the tournament for the Euros?
Yeah, that was a weird one. I mean, they put some very
Did they
weird
just do
sides
that
in.
because England got to the final
Yes.
to give us
I think if you were going to do it, you should have put Guehi in there
Guehi,
instead.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
I didn't get that. The centre-back options were fairly weak for the Euros, like the options for winners. Like, you don't really remember Spain's, and they rotated quite a lot. So I don't know why he was in there.
Bit of a strange one, wasn't it?
Very strange one.
But yeah, Sterling had him on toast in that match.
Yeah,
So hopefully he does the same at Stamford Bridge.
I want to see Sterling start in this game because I want to see if he is going to do it from the first whistle because he's come on, hasn't he, and looked pretty good.
Are you going to the Inter Milan match?
I am. Are you?
Depends, doesn't it?
It depends on.
Day before.
Yeah, it does.
Do
No,
not
it
tell
does.
Me. Do
No,
not
it
tell
does.
me you
No,
don't know
it
what
does.
happens
It
the day
does depend
before.
on that. No, I do know that.
What
I do know
happens?
there's a big party.
There is a big party.
Why?
My 30th.
Yeah, to be fair, you could be 12 pints deep on that, can you?
Oh, I'm going to have a drink on my 30th, yeah.
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 You could be 12 pints deep. And then the Balti pie isn't going to save you.
Then I've got to stay up to watch Misfits because I'm going to find out who my opponent is because they're boxing.
Is that night, the 10th?
10th, yeah, night
Yeah,
10th.
well, make sure you tune in.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to knock whoever gets through Spark out, so it
out.
doesn't really matter. does
Raging alcoholic I am, but I just still knock everyone out on
Yeah,
Misfits.
yeah,
so.
yeah. To be fair, the first two fights you were pissed when you were doing it as well.
Yeah.
Just shows you how good you are.
High on euphoria. Let's have a score prediction, mate.
Yeah, 3-0 Chelsea.
God,
that was so exciting.
I will go a little bit more pessimistic. I
Don't
just
go
can't
pessimistic,
Listen,
Joe. We're Chelsea.
I
Come
know,
on, mate.
I know.
We're
I
enthusiastic.
know.
You love it.
No.
Don't say 2-1. Don't say it.
How do you know it's going to go 2-1?
I just know you so
I just
well.
can't see us keeping a
Don't
clean
say
sheet,
2-1.
mate. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet at the minute.
Maybe Jorgensen will be in the goal by this point.
He can't be, though, can he?
Maybe he will.
I'd like it if
He's
he would.
flying out there right now.
Is
He
he?
might already be in the States by the time we record this video.
We might be in the States by the time people watch this video. Me and Josh are going to America
We
on
are.
Wednesday. Oh,
are.
that's going to be fucking brilliant, mate.
I can't wait.
We're going to bang some content out there.
We're going to bang some content. We're going to do it in our American accents. And
Yeah,
you're
damn.
all invited.
Yep. So,
Los Angeles.
there you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it round to the end of another video, you're an absolute legend. Why don't you do me a massive favour by clicking subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button. Josh's channel is not only linked in the description, it's in the title. So just click on that, subscribe to his channel if you're not already, and I will see you all in the next one.